Just ask them.
How we doing, everybody? Welcome in.
How we doing?
Back everyone, and we've got a full house today. Even Sid's with us today. Look,
Not enough room on the phone screen for everybody.
no,
The Wanderer returns.
Room for a few more. So, how is everyone? What have you been up to?
Not a great deal for me.
Yeah,
Bloody moving fly around. I seem to do nothing else but to move fly around. Clean face.
How are your fly doing? What sort of size are they at now?
They're doing all right. Actually, there's some pretty bloody big ones. To be honest. They get to about sort of 8, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But they get terrible background noise. I don't know whether anything else.
Oh, it's mine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be Sidders from the water flow.
That's in his. Yeah. Gotta say.
Yeah, he's at the studio.
Yes, of course. Oh, there you go. That's better.
I think he's actually taken residence up in that place until everything's passed through quarantine.
Fair enough.
Sometimes you have to.
The last boss.
I've been sleeping here for the past 10 days, and I basically didn't sleep for the first 1 week, guys. I just didn't.
No, I can hardly hear you, Sid.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
All right.
Oh, lost
Oh.
Cashy.
Cashy's just disappeared. Oh my word! I've just taken a load of skin off the top of my knuckle. Ah. Ow. Motherfucker. Ah. Sorry, guys. I just pulled a load of skin off my knuckle. Ouch.
Well, that was
Right,
a silly
so while
thing
we
to do.
wait for Cashy to come back, Shane, what have you been up to this week, koi-wise?
Can you guys hear me better now?
Koi boys,
That's
just
better.
tidying up.
All right.
Still can't find where that bloody leak is.
I was just about to say, have you found the leak yet?
No, I've taken the net off. I've literally laid across the top of the pond and ran my hand all the way around the inside of it. Can't feel nothing where it's lifting up or anything like that. The only thing I haven't been able to get to is down by the filter in that bottom corner. I wonder
Right.
whether I've got a slight tear in where the old man done one of the folds. So I'll have to try
Up near the top. Hey, Matt's in. Hey, darling.
yeah, I've got to try and
How much water are you losing, Shane, and how often?
if I fill it right up, 4 or 5 inch in 6 hours. Like to the point, Vince, you know where the UV is, you've got that concrete pad.
Yep.
Yeah. Once you fill it right up, even that gets wet. Like it's coming through the block. So there's obviously a tear in the liner somewhere.
And it is stopping at that 4 or 5 inch point.
Oh no, it's about, I'm almost at half depth, and then it stopped.
Holy shit, that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
How deep? That's 4 foot deep, isn't it?
3.5. So it's just over. It's just over 3,500 litre.
Yeah, but losing a 1.5 foot of water is not good in any scenario.
That's a good leak, that.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, I know I got my main pond that leaks, but not at that rate. I'm losing about an inch, 2 inches every 12 hours.
Yeah. Oh, afterwards, my phone's on charge at the moment. I'll do a little oh no video short. Like, just so you can see what fucking depth it's fucking at the moment, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because it's, yeah. I've still got to top. I've done the filter cleans on the small pond this morning. So I've got to top that up after live as well.
Yeah.
See, at the moment where it's dropped down, I've just increased the air just to get all that crap off and just let that flow through the pump into the clean filters. Just, you know, just get all the fines out of the column. So that'll do that, and then I'll top that up after live once it starts to cool down a little bit.
Cool down. It's overcast and muggy here. I mean,
oh no, here it's quite warm. It's like 25 here, 26 here.
Glorious.
So,
yeah,
I was just saying, earlier, my pond was sitting at 22 degrees yesterday, and it's now dropped down to 19. It's fucking mental.
That's not going to do you any favours for national, is it?
No. And I've got
all.
another one I can't take.
No, we were talking just before we came on about, you know, the temperatures and what have you. I know there's a few of the guys that have been having issues this year. Or, you know, I know the parasites thing always comes up, but for some reason this year seems to have been shocking. And the pond temperature has been swaying. Within the course of a week, there's probably a difference of 11 degrees across the week in pond temperature, just because of the weather swings that we've been having. And I'm not heated, so yeah, trying to prep is a nightmare. But the biggest nightmare is parasites at the moment, and it seems specifically fluke. People just don't seem to be able to get rid of fluke at all. And I'm the same in my main pond. I've tried all kinds, and it goes away for a few weeks, and then it seems to come back again. And that's double dosing, doing all the rest of it, slightly overdosing, using PP, Fluke P, Lennox Pro, everything. I've tried them all over the years, but there's just this time round just doesn't seem to be able to shift any of them. It's a major man around the corner having Helenor. Just cannot get rid of them. But these temperature swings are when the pond water's going from anywhere between sort of 10 degrees and 20 degrees during the course of a week. It's just absolute madness. Yeah. Don't like it at all, do they?
Is your pond not heated?
Doing that on purpose, right?
No. I used to have it heated, but it just started costing a fortune. So I think I'm going to have a look at an air source heat pump and see about that. But we've got the extension starting in a couple of weeks. So at the moment, all the money's going into the extension, and then we'll see where we are later on in the year. But you know, I mean, you do hear it time and time again. Koi are cold water fish, but that doesn't mean they like cold water, and they certainly don't like changes in temperature. And I think a lot of people, a lot of hobbyists, myself included, when I first started, don't actually quite realise just how much of a difference it can make to the koi health having a stable temperature.
It makes a massive difference.
It's so huge. I think people underestimate just how much it is. They build a pond, they get fantastic filtration, they spend a fortune, get some fantastic fish in there, and then they're just plagued with parasites or problems, most of which are linked to those temperature fluctuations. If you can get a stable temperature and treat for parasites, they tend to stay away.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just that. It's if you can keep a nice temperature, even like 20 degrees onwards, the good that does for their immune system in fighting off parasites and not giving them issues. It's a massive thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, I'm still suffering now, and I mean, Rick said the same last week. His go-to has always been Fluke P, and just doesn't seem to be touching them now. So he went to Learn X Pro, and since I put the Learn X Pro in on what day did it come? Tuesday? Or was it Wednesday? My Gimmer and Snow hasn't been right since.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It's just it's a pain in the backside. It's part of living in the UK and part of koi keeping. But
Yep.
yeah, if you can afford it, air source heat pump, do it. I mean,
Definitely.
houses are pretty good because they're fairly stable. The greenhouses tend to you only get a couple of degrees shift in temperature, but the outside ponds, they're all like
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people tend to disregard the standard Learnex as well, though, because there's a different active ingredient in the standard Learnex than there is in the Learnex Pro. One what's not,
Hmm.
what used to be used quite regular. I can't remember the name of this ingredient, what's in it now, but it used to be used quite regularly. But then for some reason it stopped being used, and then Learnex Pro come about, and because they're all rave that they were about Learnex Pro, this standard Learnex sort of got forgot about.
yeah.
And I
Hmm.
think if you just sort of swap and change in between ingredients, I think it sort of helps your chances of getting rid of fluke.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they don't get they don't become immune to it. So I was using Fluke Bait. The NT Labs Flucasol has served me well in the past, and I've not tried that again since, but it did work the last time I used it.
Hmm.
So I might give that again. But they've been fine, and then I just noticed today a bit of flashing. But again, the temperature over the last couple of days has gone up from around about 14, 15 degrees to 20, 22 degrees. So the pond
Yeah.
temperature has gone up by 8 degrees. And immediately does that. They start flicking. It's
Well, that's just it. The rest of the pond are absolutely fine. You know, they're going around looking for food that they're not going to get, but the only one that is not fine is my Gimmer and Snarsaggy, and literally it is just hanging around the surface, clamped. Scraped it yesterday twice, couldn't find anything. I'm going to scrape it again today, but I'm going to give it a salt bath today as well to see if that helps.
It's
But
like that as well, though, isn't it? When we talk about heat and temperature fluctuations, I bet even you, Vince, I bet you've noticed a massive difference in behaviour between your main pond, what's not heated, and your pond, what's in your long block, what's got an air source heat pump on it, because that's stable.
yeah, oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm torn between putting it on the main pond and keeping it where it is. But if I put it on the main pond, it means I then won't be able to heat fish over the winter in long block because as much as I'd love to have it 2 air source heat pumps, that's just never going to happen. So it's a case
And
of
you are actually technically supposed to have planning permission if you've got 2 air source heat pumps.
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
yeah, I didn't know that. Koi Addicts just mentioned a comment there. I'm just flicking back and forth in the chat. Just if anybody asking any questions, and absolutely right. I think if you can, a polytunnel over the top or a cover over the top. All of my outside ponds, apart from the one where the fry are in temporarily outside, are covered. I mean, that does help if you cover the sides. It keeps the wind chill off and it keeps the rain out as well, which is stopping. There's a lad round the corner from us, and he contacted me the other day asking how to get his pH up because we'd had some significantly heavy rain and it's dropped to 5.5. Mine doesn't change at all because I never get rain in my pond. Because all the ponds have got roofs over the pH stays dead stable. But
Yeah.
a good point. You can get cheap polytunnels. Don't get me wrong. You'll probably end up buying one a year. When it gets under them, they disappear.
Yeah, it's not even that, especially with them cheap polys as well.
Just juice it.
When you've got that greeny, like the green plastic,
Yeah,
it's not so much of a wind picking up and ripping it. They're so thin
yeah,
that even 6 weeks with a peak summer, with the sun beaming on it, even the sun can perish that plastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah. No, if you get the really cheap ones, then they don't last very long at all. But if you get a sort of a mid-range one, it's a good idea. It's a good suggestion. If you can. The problem is that anything we do to our ponds to either stop predators getting in, to keep temperatures up, to do whatever, keep the rain off or anything else, they all end up making the pond look ugly. You know, there's some really pretty ponds out there that have got covers over them, got sides on, etc., and some really nice ponds that people have built inside another building. But that's bloody expensive. If you an average hobbyist and you've got an outside pond, and you want to keep nice fish, it's very, very difficult to do it without it making it look like a koi farm. Which is what my back garden looks like at the moment, apart from the one.
No comment.
I'm shooting, but it's good fun, isn't it? It's good fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I do finally get to rebuild it, I am going to put a clear roof over the top, and then I'm going to make some panels that I can put in to enclose it during the winter.
Yeah,
that way it should help, but it won't make it the best.
No, but it does every little bit you can do. Just keep the wind off blowing. The wind will drop the temperature down in the winter and things like that. There are things you can do, but trying to do it and make it look pretty is difficult unless you're spending a lot of money. It's just one of those things. But yeah, pain in the back. But yeah, looking for comments.
It looks sweet, but it ain't. I've just tested it. It's really strong.
Oh, that'd be. That's Si talking to a lady with a microphone on or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, next weekend. Can't wait. Weather forecast.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I don't know. Bittersweet. Hey, look, they opened the online benching, and I did online benching last year, and then only ended up taking 2 of the koi that I've benched online and taking different koi anyway. So I'll know on Friday morning which one's going.
Yeah, exactly that, and
that's as good as it gets.
That's the way myself and Rick are looking at it as well. Until we look at them on Friday morning, we genuinely don't know what we're going to take. There are 1 or 2 that will definitely be going, but as for everything else, it all depends on how they're going and how they're looking on the Friday morning.
Yep.
Before we bag them up. So.
Yeah, and I've Simon Daines very kindly offered for me to stay at his house, so I'm going to obviously bench Friday, stay at his Friday, Saturday, and then Scott Henderson in Carolina. I'm on the Friday morning to have a look. There's four definites, and then there's probably another 3 or 4 that
possibilities.
See how they look on the day. I mean, they're looking great at the moment. They are loving the sun. And they're up constantly for food at the moment, absolutely smashing it. So I'm just trying to ease it back a little bit. I've been trying to.
Have you stopped feeding yet?
Say again, mate. Sorry.
You stopped feeding for your showfish now, have you?
Today I'll stop. I've had them on a bit of weak germ over the last few days, rather than the growth and colour. It just helps. Flush out and tighten the skin up a little bit. A bit better for it. But everything will be getting knocked on the head for the showfish today.
So I stopped feeding Friday.
They should have really stopped feeding on Friday, but they've had a little bit over the weekend. Not much, but they've had a little bit over the weekend.
How many are you taking, Kashi?
I've got 4 definites at the moment, and then potentially another 3 or 4. But I'll be saying that decision will be made on Friday morning. It depends on how they look on the day. If we can, the temperatures are supposed to be like this for the rest of the week. The weekend.
Supposedly get thunderstorms out towards the end of the week, though.
Oh, don't say that, Simon. Fucking hell.
It'll still be warm. It's not looking. Coventry's looking pretty good. I've kept an eye on the temperatures. Looking pretty good. The only thing that means is that the temperature of the vat will go up, and by the Saturday afternoon, half the vats will be full of spawn. Like
There
2 or 3 of them last year. There was one next to me had some fantastic koi in it. I was looking for a jam jar, but yeah. But it's the forecast's not looking too bad, so that'll pep up and they'll start to look a little bit better for the team.
Yeah. I say I haven't been feeding since. Well, I stopped feeding Friday evening. I gave the filters a major clean Friday as well, and fucking protein scum I've got on my pond for not feeding, and the amount of algae that is now in my easy pod because they are going around tearing the shit out of the walls and the floor.
Yeah.
So I've had to go in there and do, even though I haven't fed, I've had to go in there and do the easy pods twice a day because it's absolutely chock full of algae because they won't stop tearing the fucking sides apart.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be eating.
PP it.
With the
Kill
food.
algae off, PP it.
Yeah, PP it. Yeah, we were talking about that just before.
We were talking about it just before.
It'll do your water quality a world of good as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Bit of a PP hit. That'll be happening this week. A little bit of a PP hit.
yeah.
Go.
And as for Ken's question, how many total entries would it be at the national? I'm not sure, but I'm VAT number 49. So
yeah, I'm 25. I think I'll have to double check.
unless people don't turn up or whatever, then that's 49 entries at least, and that's without the dealers show as well, isn't it? Because the dealers show have got a separate set of VATs as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do the online benching thing now then.
You don't have to. No, it's always been an option to do it, and obviously there will be some people who know exactly what they're taking, because you've got there's different levels. You know, there's a sort of the hobbyists like myself and Vince that have only recently started showing or are doing the first show, and it's nice to get in and see if you've got something to compete and all the rest of it. And then obviously you've got the big boys who know exactly what they're doing, exactly when they're taking them, and all the rest of it, who will do the online benching. And it really does help the show team out. I have to say, again, I've said it before, but the show team last year, and Matt, who was in charge of benching, he's the chairman of the show this year. He was phenomenal, and the rest of the team were absolutely brilliant, really helpful, very friendly, loads of advice, couldn't fault them whatsoever. So it really helps them out to do the online benching because it does save them a little bit of time. But then it's, as Vince is finding out now, and a lot of people in our position will be, you might have your top 8 or whatever that you're going to take, depending on how big they are and what have you. A point system for how many fish you can have in the vat, based on the size.
Even still though, surely even if you do online benching, surely they still have to bench them again when you get there.
Yeah, they do. All they'll do is they'll take a look at them. They'll look at what's got. I mean, I don't know this for a fact because I've not been involved in it. But if you do the online benching, they'll just check that the fish in the bowl are the fish that you've sent through from the photograph. Because you take a photograph of it in the measuring bowl. You can't just take a photo of the fish and say it's this size. So you take a photograph of it in the measuring bowl so they can see the size of it. They can see which fish it is. And then when you get there, they'll check the photographs against the fish in the bowl, and then they'll move on. If you've not, then they'll have a measuring bowl. They float the measuring bowl in. They'll take each fish out, and they'll measure it and photograph of it, bench it there.
Do they bench it and then put it from there into the vat?
Sorry, mate, say again.
So do they bench your fish by your vat so they come out of wherever it is?
You'll float your fish. You'll get there, float your fish, let them know you're there and you need to bench. They'll come round once the fish have been released, and then they'll just net them up, put them in the bowl, measure them up, write them down, take a quick photograph, just check the general sort of health of the fish, make sure there's nothing untoward. I doubt anybody's going to willfully eat a fish that's got a problem, but they'll just have a very quick check over and then back on.
Yeah.
It's a fairly painless process. They know what they're doing. They're very good at it. They'll whip around, get it done. And the guys, water team, they're testing everything all the time, ripping, constantly, got back all over the place. So it's well done. I mean, by the Sunday, the fish is starting to get a little bit agitated. They'll start to flick a little bit, but Then they're all right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never had there's no issues at all with any fish last year, as far as I'm aware.
Ken, it would have been awesome if you could have come across, but yeah, with the health, I don't blame you, mate.
Are you not making it, Sid? No.
No, it's not gonna be possible for me, man. I have another shipment coming in like a few weeks, and I've been basically running this thing on my own. Like back when I was planning to come, I didn't know what this thing was gonna turn into, and now I've got my hands full. And then October, November, I'm thinking I'm basically gonna be going back to Japan in October, November for season time. So I need to save money for that. And also, the UK visa is a bit for me. The Japan visa is much easier. The UK visa is a
Yeah.
pain in the ass for Indian people. You know, I'd rather not do it. At least not now and like stress out about it right now. I'll try and make it next year. Hopefully, when I come next year, when I can bring in some support as well for them and stuff. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you, mate.
Yeah.
We were riveted, Sid.
Yeah, I
We're
know it's a lot different for you, so with like your visa and things like that. For it is here than what it is over there. It's a
Oh,
lot
for
more.
sure.
It seems to be a lot more tricky over here.
Yeah, but hopefully, like in a few months, like I might just be able to come on like a business visa or something like that. Just make things really easy. You know, just get one of you boys to sign in saying yes, to come in to visit our toy farm. Maybe it could be rich, you know, and then just
Yeah.
speed things along. And then if I still don't get it, then maybe I can start making some calls to who's it? Is he the prime minister right now?
couldn't tell you who the Prime Minister is right now.
There was in India. There was the prime minister for a moment, right?
Oh, he still is up till the 20th
still
of next
is?
month.
Yeah, well, he should have done a little better on Indian folk. Dude. Ain't doing
So,
nothing
Sid,
for nobody, it seems. Yeah.
are we going to get a tour of the facility? Seeing we've actually got you with us this week.
Ah, that's where I am.
All looking good.
So
Put him on big screen.
put me on the screen. Hold on. Okay. So I got the aerators turned off. Okay. That's the Sansai tank. Although right now there's only 10 of them in there. There's 160 of them coming. And then this one is the Jumbo Tosai tank number 1, which kind of has maybe 30, 35 centimeters, Goshikis, Platinum Orgon, Paraguays, whole bunch of mixed stuff from like Marihiro, Hiroi, Chogoro, and a couple of other ones. And then this one, the smaller version of the same stuff, yeah. It's basically been split up in 2 right now. And then in this one, we've got 450 Sakazume and Sakaratsu Tosai that are about 12 to 16, 18, some of them right now. And then this by far is my favorite tank, and you can see why. Me and this tank, the relationship goes both ways. They love me as much as I love them. They're the Aoki Tosai. I'm gonna try and get my laptop a little closer. Hopefully, I don't drop it in. So there you go. Oh, the auto feeders are just gonna go off for the last feeding of the day.
So is that the Aoki tank, is it?
This one is the Aoki tank. So there's 500 odd Tosai in here. That 100 of them have been removed right now for sales. They've just literally just completed their quarantine and everything. So now you'll hear all the auto feeders go on one after the other because it took me like a little bit to set it up. You know what I mean? I'd set one up and then the other one's a minute apart. They're all kicked out if I'm walking around here. So they're all being power fed right now. There's kilograms of food going into every single tank because I'm trying to beat them up. Like the quarantine process and things was stressful as hell for them. You know? You know what I'm gonna do, Ben? I'm gonna quickly hook up my phone to the live so that I can show you guys with better video quality. Because this is nonsense walking around with a laptop like this.
All right,
But yeah, so then there's another tank of Canezos that's on my left right now. They're really weak right now. They're not on sale. I'm trying to bring them around and make them nice and chill and relax. A couple of them, the Showas were really weak, and then also the Kiko Hakus were pretty weak. They're not taking the weather as well as the rest of them, you know. That's the issue. But I'll just show you around. Hold on, I'm gonna hook it up really quick. You guys are gonna have to give me a quick second, yeah.
Yeah.
And we are okay. Check. All right. Am I in? Oh, shit.
no, you're still on the laptop.
No,
there
I'm
you are.
in. It's just that.
He's in. We're going to get the echo. Mute. There you go.
Yep.
He's muted it.
Just mute me out. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly swap around that camera.
Oh no, it's still got the echo. Where's it done that?
You got the wrong one
idea why
muted,
it's
I
doing
think.
that.
Shouldn't matter which one he has
Actually,
muted.
okay, right. Yeah, now that's to be sorted. Okay. So, nice and clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the Canezo tank. Kiko Hakus, Chana Panchos. There's 120 of them, but I've lost a few. Are we still, am I still
No, there is
making a
still
lot of
an
noise?
echo. There's still a noise, yeah.
What about now? Now it should be sorted.
No,
That's
So
got
that's the
got it.
Canezos. They're really weak right now and they're not being fed, and that water is very salty. Super salty. Super salty. And I'm bringing it up every day, literally. Then these are the Aokis. You can see that they're super active, super confident, super hungry. There's just tons of crazy going. I'm gonna drop my phone and after I feed them. Hold on. All right, the water level's low right now, so that I can keep an eye on all the profiles because when it stops up to the 7 foot mark, I can see jack what of what is going on below in the profile tank. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Impossible, bro. At 20,000 liters with like 6.5 foot of water level, it's impossible to see anything. Like these guys, they're like bottom dwellers, man. They're like, sometimes I feel like these fish are plecos, man. They just don't come up. Like I've been trying to feed them and be sweet to them and be nice to them, and they're just like not getting the vibe, you know. Let's see if they come and put some food. Nope. They get super skittish for some reason. I don't know why, man. But next, let's move on to the next one. So then, these are the jumbo toe size. We got some nice ones in there. And we got some nice ones in there.
You able to
The
lift
water's
some
been
boards and
topped
show
up.
us your filtration, Sid?
Oh, hold up. Let me just turn off the valves and the pump first. Hold up really quick. I forgot that they were on because the video was on. Okay. Oh, sheesh kebab. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, so that's the quarantine tank. That's my hospital tank. I've got 2 Canezos in there that were just the worst off. And they're looking not too bad at this point. Then in this one, we've got some more Takazume, Takadatsu mix. Kikusui, Kohaku, what goes on here. And then that's just finally got the air condition hooked up and running. So like the place isn't a death trap anymore. That pump blocked up. I need to figure out why. I think a bit of K1 has gotten stuck up in it. And then that's the transfer tank. They're all hanging out of the bottom or not close to the glass. That's my battery backup. Really quick. I have outside slippers and inside slippers. At Indian koi farms, you straight up take your shoes off. And that's the outside there. I still have a shit ton of landscaping to do here.
Yeah.
I've got a bit. And what I'm thinking is I'm just going to turn all of this into water storage. So right now I can only store 30,000 liters, which is just about enough for one tank.
Yeah.
I'm going to expand that into about 2 lakh liters. So that's 200,000 liters. And then do the landscaping and the decor around it and above it. And then fence off this entire area here, up to there. And then that's basically what I've got. I would love to show you guys what's going on under my thumb, but I'd love to do it another day when I'm a little more prepared. Because right now it's just messy in there. You gotta remember I had like 3 days to set up my sumps and mature the water before the fish were coming. You know what I mean? So it's like the brushes are in a row, but they're not like beautifully stacked or anything like that. You know what I mean? The cartridges have been made. Hold up.
Your filters are actually underneath all that woodwork then.
Correct. Let me just see if I can quickly lift some of them off. I literally have not lifted it since the day that this place has been set and the fish have gone in. Okay, I need to look for a hook. There's a tool to get this wood off without crushing your fingers because there's some heavy goddamn logs, man. Okay, this one should be easy to get off. So right now, that's kind of how it goes. There's cartridges stacked under there. You can see them. So the water's coming from bottom up. And right now, these sumps are literally only 40% packed, man. There's so much media that I need to buy. Like tons of it. Hold on. Let me just see if I can get the last bio sump. Fuck, not a good idea. Hold on. You guys are going to have to look at some fish for a second. Almost dropped my phone and some other shit. Okay. So the filtration is basically Japan style, right? Everything I saw over there has been redone over here. The only difference is that they use clamshells. I mean, not clamshells, sorry. They use oyster shells.
Yep.
And I can't get a hold of that over here for biomedia. So I'm using lava rock and I'm using K1 as mechanical, as biological. And then I've got cartridges of Japanese blue foam and black foam that is kind of stacked together. Okay, so I should not have opened that up because I can't get it on. Oh, it's in.
There you go.
There we go.
So,
little bit of gentle persuasion.
Correct. So I'll explain to you.
Each pond has a bottom drain then at the bottom of the pond then.
Okay, so there's two separate sizes of tanks here, right? The ones on the right are 16,000 liters. The ones on the left are 27,000 liters, other than the last one, which is 35,000 liters. There's 3 sumps on this 16,000 liter. Each of those sumps is 2,700 liters. Yeah. The smaller ponds have one bottom drain, one skimmer that is currently unactivated because of the low water height. And then also, it's got 3 chambers. First one is those cartridges that you've seen on the YouTube short. Second one is brushes. And then on top of the brushes, before the water passes through the next chamber, there's a little bit of biomedia. And then in the last one, we've got biomedia and UV. You can see that light shining in through there. So there's 55 watt UVs running on these 3 tanks. And then this one is doubled up at 110 watts on all 3 of them. These 27,000 liter tanks have about 13,000 liters just of sumps, you know, which is just nuts. So like the biomedia that I've got in there, I swear I bought a fortune, a small fortune worth of biomedia, and it just disappeared in there, guys. Like because the sumps, the ponds are like 7 feet, yeah, to the top, and then the sumps are 8 foot. Okay, so each of the sumps all have individual bottom drains, all of them. Then they have valves to sorry, they have stop pipes, yeah, and then I have two valves over here to control where they go, and then piping over there that drains out, or I have another valve over there I can pull, and it goes to the place that I'm supposed to be doing my landscaping in, you know. So these tanks double skim, sorry, one skimmer, two bottom drains. These tanks are just one skimmer and one bottom drain. But they're churning a solid amount of water right now. I've got everything turned off, including the aerators and the flow pump. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's try and feed these big guys. So the big fish have only just started eating now. You know what I mean? Like they take forever to eat when they come from big transport, right? From long travels. So they've only just started eating now, guys. There is a Benny Cheek, so there's one fish in here that is from my previous fish here. I'm using him as an immunizer per se. You know?
Yeah.
I need to make sure that these fish are good to go to like people's ponds that already have my fish. So like right now they're all spread up as Kanezo, Aoki, Sakadume, and Takadatsu that came together. And then these two separately from the Takadatsu Nisai, you know, and Sansai. But I'm eventually going to start mixing them up, you know, one at a time when I'm feeling safe and when I'm feeling ready, because I need to free up these front 3 tanks, okay, for my next batch of Sansais that are coming, right? 140 Sansais are not going to fit in one goddamn tank, you know. So that's going to be stressful. Hopefully, I can make some sales and like reduce the population. I've been doing okay, not as well as I want to be doing, but decently right now. So that's why this tank is lightened up really quick. The Aokis, I don't know, guys. I'm just not feeling like selling them. Look at them. It's so difficult to sell, man. There's like a Maruten, Kuchi Benny, Hajiro in here. Sorry, Ginren Matsukao Bake that is just absolutely nuts. I put a shot up on him. He's really my favorite fish in here. He's staying. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much all that we got right now.
Superb.
So from start to finish, because you had to make the building as well, didn't you? How long has it taken you to get to this point here?
So it was 92 days from mud to imports in the water.
From start to
92
finish.
days.
92 days.
Like you remember when I started, it was just plain mud, right, Ben? When I came back from Japan. So I only started 4 days after I came back from Japan. This entire place was nothing other than a bare shed, you know. And then we built everything up. I was technically done within a month, man, guys. But I've also had funding issues, you know. I've had to like sit and come up with the money to like back my business to like build this goddamn monolith of a facility and get all these fish down. So like that is primarily why it took me 90 days. Otherwise, damn, if I had the money ready, I would have had this thing done within 35, 40 days, man.
That's,
you know,
that's still an accomplishment, though, bro. It's still an accomplishment.
Oh yeah, 90 days is probably the fastest a size of koi farm has ever been built, right? I mean, it's got to be the fastest that anyone has ever gotten. Oh, hello! Look at your pretty mug. So that's. I think it's got to be the fastest that it's gone from mud to like import in the water. Like I'm pretty sure people have built some koi farms and done some breeding and stuff like that with some polytunnels and like liners and things like that. but like this was 26,000 square foot of concreting. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like all in all, with the walls and how often am I purging the sump? Till now, I've not even done it once because this place needs to mature. I want to give it that ammonia. I'm testing the waters every day. No, each pond is running with its own free sump. Each pond, free
Oh,
sump.
says froze.
But I haven't yet cleaned the sumps yet because like the amount of shit and dirt coming out right now is still negligible for the sump. You know,
Right.
like they aren't even feeling it. I have my maths are not jammed up yet. I've got lots of time on my hands. But I think I'm gonna have to do like once a month, depending on what. See, also you guys gotta realize like right now I'm on like hardcore feeding mode, right? Because like they're fresh imports. I want them to like they came in looking like needlefish, man. I'm not even kidding. Like after the like when I picked them out from Japan, they were nice, healthy, buff, like looking like jumbo toe size, And then by the time they were done with the entire quarantine and the shipping process, and they were here, they were skinny as hell. So like and really weak. So like I had to pump the feeding, and I've got 2 kilograms of food going into the Aoki tank every day. Um, a kilogram going into the Sakazume and a kilogram going into the Kanazo, a kilo going into 2 kilos going into the Jumbo Tosai tank. It's a ton of food, man. But like once the place levels out, I'm not gonna be feeding like that. This isn't like not my personal grooming tank. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like I've got to be a little bit safe because right now, like the amount I'm feeding is definitely not gonna be my regular feeding. Like it's gonna be maintenance feeding. You know what I mean? Keep that body
Yeah.
looking good and things like that. And then maybe if I think one specific fish needs some extra love and care, then I'll put it in what I assign to be a grooming tank. Then you know.
So what are you actually feeding at the moment? Is it an
So
own brand or is it something you bought
Aokis are
from
getting
Japan?
Aokis are getting sake ikari, bro. The Aokis and the Sansai are getting sake ikari. And then the other 4 tanks of Tosais are getting Optimum, which is the brand that I've been using for the past year or so. And it works really well for me because it's like ballpark three, I think 3 pounds a kilogram or 4 pounds a kilogram, which is pretty good deal. And then it's got good ingredients and spirulina, some krill and things like that. And it's sitting right about like 34% protein. But thank you. Thanks so much. It's definitely sucked the life out of me these last 90 days then. Which is why I have not been on the lives and things like that. I'm sorry about that, guys. All of you guys. Really
Business always
sincerely.
comes first, mate. 'Cause at the end of the day, you
Oh
got to take
man,
care of your
dude.
family.
Towards the last couple of weeks, like the last few weeks, I've been having anxiety attacks and stuff at night, man. Like the first night that I went home, leaving the koi house empty, knowing that like my entire life of savings worth of koi were in a house unattended. I just could not get sleep, man. I was having anxiety attacks in the middle of the night and stuff, like hopping onto the bike and then just coming here and spending my evenings here with like a scotch or something. More than just one, but you know. It's
But
been stressful, man.
you've got alarm systems and that going in though, haven't you?
Yep. So I have trickle out, trickle in automatic systems being put in. I've got cameras being put in, one on every tank, and then like a 13 camera security system going on. Like nobody gets to touch this fucking koi house with a pole without me knowing like what underwear he's wearing. You know what I mean? Like nobody gets to touch the water in here. Nobody gets nothing like that. It's all on lockdown, and like even apart from that, like even the temperatures and stuff like that now, if it becomes too hot for me, I can turn on the air conditioning. If it becomes too cold, I can open up the top because the top is transparent to daylight. Um, so I can regulate like that. I don't actually need to worry about heating the water. You know my temperature. Like every time you guys are talking about the cold waters, it sounds like a nightmare to me. But like I figure like anywhere between 22 to like 26, 28 even on a really hot day. You know, so like it's perfect grooming temperatures, perfect for them to just keep eating. You know,
Yeah.
and growing. Like
Well,
I'll send you guys some pictures of these jumbo tosais when they just came in, Vince, and like what they look like now. Nuts, absolutely nuts. Just in
so
10 days.
with the fact that you're feeding an unknown brand and you're feeding Saki Akari, how much difference do you notice between the two sets of fish?
Oh, for sure, man. I've had color drop happening on the tanks where I'm not feeding sake ikari. On I mean, but that could also be because of the weak and stress fish. It's not all about the food, but I can like see. There's also a matter of like how the water's looking because the fish are all looking fine. They're all doing fine. You know what I mean? Like I can compare the growth that's happening on each of the tanks, and they're pretty close by. धन्यवाद सर जी इतना प्यार से हिंदी में गूगल ट्रांसलेट करके मैसेज भेजा तो जवाब भी देना पड़ेगा ना हिंदी में but so the tanks where I'm feeding optimum the water looks like shit. Yeah. The fish is still looking good. They're growing well, but the water quality is just trash compared to the Hikari, the Saki Hikari ponds. Yeah.
Mhm.
The Aoki tank is just so it seems that their poop will settle really nice. The turds go straight down to the bottom drain, at least with the Saki Hikari, and then with the other food, what I see is that it's breaking up a lot, dissolving a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think the Hikari is definitely doing a really good job with the water clarity. I can't give you numbers on like growth and stuff yet until I've done some like a little bit of research, you know, side by side. Because right now I've just been focused on keeping that shit alive, baby. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
that's my main
definitely,
focus
definitely.
right now.
What
Like
sort of
just
price
water
point is
quality.
Saki Kari at, Sid, compared to us?
I don't know what it is for you guys, but it's so expensive here. It burns so bad. It's like 4,500 meters. So it's about 100, like 80 pounds for 3 kilograms.
How much?
80 quid for
80
3
pounds.
kilo.
Yeah, 80 quid for 3 kilograms. So about
You know.
3.5 kilograms. Dude, it's a
And there's
it's
us complaining that 280 quid for a 15 kilo sack.
Mm-hmm.
it's a full scam here, bro. I mean, like, I don't want to say that and all. Like, I don't want to go against brands and stuff like that. I'm not that, like, I'm not a baller yet like that. Saki, I mean, Hikari, if you guys want to, like, sponsor my farm, please. I have only good things to say then, but yeah, man. The water quality is definitely a big difference. Anyway, right now, I'm just, like, feeding for growth, just getting them to bulk up, and then I'll slow down again, you know? Other than the
Yeah.
Aoki tank. Other than yeah, but it's been so exciting, man. It's been
So
like a dream come true.
you keep going on about the Aoki tank. What is it about Aoki's fish that gives you such a rod on?
So I'll tell you what. The minute those fish were out of the bags on transport and quarantine and everything and in the water, every single one of them was just like all the other fish that came from Japan were just like, oh man, need some I need to chill, I need some time. You know what I mean? But Aoki fish straight out of the bag, they were like A grade from the second you saw them. You know what I mean? They had their body shapes like from the rest of the fish that I saw. Yeah, I guess maybe they were in quarantine for a long time and things like that. But Aoki fish came with the bulk, the shoulders, the body, everything on point. Like you know, like when you buy fish in the thousands from breeders, you're like bound to find some shit fish, right? You're bound to like you'd be like, oh, so like in the hundreds and hundreds of other tosais that I found, I got like I got a couple of randos with like eyes missing and shit like that. Maybe they got plucked out in the bag and things like that. A couple that were really weak, and then a couple of them that was just shit patterns and stuff, right? Aoki, every single fish wins. Every single fish is straight out of the ballpark banger, bro. Like so hot. And then the varieties, man. The varieties like the Doichiko Gane Ochibas, the Benikiko Kyurus, all of his Kawari Monos are just next level. All of his Ogons and things like that have like beautiful fukrin and like beautiful luster, beautiful skin quality. All of them have spectacular body shapes. Not one of them is skinny or anything like that. It's just my bag of fish, bro. Just my bag of fish, like.
Yeah,
Really nice. Aoki. Nice in ring gush.
Yeah, that's why
Oh, dude,
with a lot of
I've gotten
people, you know,
really
you want to
nice Aokis.
put an order in with him, you got to do it October before the year before
you
to even get a chance to get it.
Him and me have an understanding now. I'm not going a single year without buying a shit ton of Aoki fish from now on. Like, it's a deal. Like, if you guys in the UK are really gonna not get so many Aokis anymore, you know? Oh yeah, for sure. He's the
So
only
we're taking most of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the only one, because our lesser spotted Ricardo. Our lesser spotted Ricardo loves pushing the envelope with spawnings and crossbreedings and stuff. I mean, look at the New Forest Hornet. I mean,
So
yeah.
did you guys know that Aoki is the creator of the Benikiko?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the damn Kikos that you saw in his pond, then, man, they're just next level. Like you could sit and stare into Aoki's vat for hours, and just every minute of that hour just be shocked. You know, like, oh, what the hell was that? Oh my God, is that like a Deutsch? Is that a Deutsch Turoboshiki? Is that like a what is that? What is this? You know, having arguments with whoever's around you about what's in that tank. So I've got at least 5 or 6 fish in the lot that have come right now, Vince, that I can't name. And I like consider myself a full blown nerd. And there's at least a few fish in
How
there
you
that
doing,
I can't
Sam? Nice one, buddy. Nice
Oh, Sam, love it.
I'll give you a lick next time I see you, Sam.
Guys, the boss is back, so I'll.
Yeah, all right, Cash.
I'll see you.
Nice one, Cassie.
Take it easy.
In a bit.
Take it easy,
care, buddy.
I'll speak to you in a week. And yes, Koi Addict, one way or another. One way or another.
You know you're going to end up having to spawn them yourself because Rick ain't going to have it. He seems adamant that snow tigers will not be a thing in New Forest.
Snow tigers?
Snow tigers, yeah. So basically, a really nice Yuki Asagi with a real perfect Omasako Shiro pattern over the top.
Ooh. That's hot. That's hot.
Yeah, you know it, and I think it would look sweet. You know, that beautiful, bright, vibrant cherry red across the bottom, nice pure white top.
So Vince, you remember that that Ginrin Matsukawa Bake Sansai from Takadatsu, the big one that I bought, that we were both talking about and loving the pattern on. So now that it's here, I got a banger deal on it, right? So I figured out why, because Takadatsu is famous for like the black diamond Matsukawa Bake, and then my black diamond is a little too white, right? But then once it's here, I look at it, and dude, this fish has like a perfect Asagi pattern. You know what I mean? Near perfect. Like if there were a black and white Ginrin Asagi, that fish would be it. Like
nice.
I will bowl it out. I will bowl it out in a couple of days and like send you some videos and put them online. But like I think you'll love that fish.
Oh yeah, I do like a Matsukawa Baki because Like I say, when we come back from the show, I'm going to be looking at borrowing a pool, and I'll be chucking the Kulture in with my Ginrin Matsukabaki. See if we can create some Ki Matsukabaki.
What?
Yeah.
You need to send me a little bit of what you're smoking then.
Well, you've seen my Kulture, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'll be a banger. I'm just trying to imagine what it'll look like.
Well, just imagine a Matsukabaki, but in yellow and black.
Yellow. Yeah. That would be nuts. Yeah. It'll be a real hard fish to like groom and maintain, I think.
And it all depends on the parents and the grandparents and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is why Rick's able to do some of the combinations that he does, because he knows or owns the grandparents and the grandparents to the grandparents in some cases, so he knows what's actually in that genetic line, which in the long term aids him then when it comes to doing these mad mixes and well, why not?
Yep.
You know, and this is my argument I keep having with him at the moment. I mean, last year when myself and Susan were up there videoing the spawnings, I can't remember what it was he put together, but it was some weird pairing, and I'm like, why the fuck? And he's like, why not? And yet I tell him, I say, let's create a snow shaggy and a snow tiger, and he's like, oh no, you know, like, hang on a minute, you can't go mixing something as random as I can't remember what they were, but you can't go mixing something as random as that and not giving it a try. You know, it's not as if he doesn't know the heritage of his Shiros and his Asagis.
Correct.
But whether it's done here or it's done down the farm, it will be done at some point in time. But I think the first one will be when I get back from the national, and it will be the Kulture with the Matsukabaki.
Insane.
Yeah.
So,
because I know.
Ben, what's the final plan now? How far are you away from the toy channel?
Away from the
national?
The national, where you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days, because Friday is when we go for it. I do have to apologise, Simon. There will be no cupcakes because Susan will not be going with me.
Susan, what?
Susan will not be coming with me.
Why?
Because the car has gone tits up, and we can't afford for 2 people to go away for a weekend when we need to get the car sorted, because she's a mobile carer and that's more important in that respect. So yeah,
goddamn German.
It just seems to, at the moment, like I said to you the other day, it just seems to be one thing after a fucking other. It just but we will get there, and we will have a smile on our face, because
bro,
it's
because
looking
you're gonna
to
make
be
it
a damn good weekend. And you know, comes to 2 o'clock, we might have to go live from Coventry at the National, even if it's only for half hour.
Excited. And so are we final on what's going?
No.
Okay, so I like my suggestion. I know Cassie was suggesting PP dipping and things like that for like multiple times before the show and things like that. Yeah, like I suggest you take the 5 or 6 fish that you have, separate them. Yeah, PP dip them before you separate them, and keep them in a nice salted, nice saline setup. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's nice and dark. I mean, make sure the background's nice and dark so that color starts deepening. You know, and get
I've been feeding Saki a curry colour for the last week and a half.
But it's not about that. It's not just about that. What like
No, I know, but
what?
I was given this little tub and said feed that for the next week and a half.
Oh, fancy guy, fancy guy, man,
I tell
fancy
you what,
guy.
as much as I hate to fucking admit it, I really
Yeah.
do. But as much as you can see a difference in the fish.
Vince, oh no, dude. You did not just say that, bro.
I
You
did.
did not just say that.
I did
Okay,
just say that.
so here's what why I don't feed color food, yeah, Vince. Like at least my experience with color food has been this that like when you feed them color food, they get better, 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 and then boom, goes to shit. Like it could happen
No,
within a month. I've seen it so many times, you know, with a lot of my fish.
if
Yeah.
if the Benny's gonna go, it's gonna go. Now, if you're at a higher temperature and you're on a high feed regime at the same time, you've got more chance of it going quicker than what it would in, say, a normal pond that's unheated. But
Yeah.
if it's gonna lose it, it's gonna lose it. And if and this is one thing that I've learned, especially with the fish that was in the Mega Munga tunnel, and the ones that are still in Rick's ponds. And even though one pond is on Sakiakari colour and one pond is on the Vitality with the Munga mix, there had still been colour loss from both tanks from certain varieties.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that is one of the main reasons why Rick has that pond or those ponds and that tunnel, is so he can pick the best ones
Yeah.
from the certain spawnings and push them. And sometimes they get pushed and they come out absolutely fucking beautiful. But then there's some,
Come on, garbage.
yeah. We lost total of 51 fish out of our pond.
Like
And I
51 fish
guarantee,
drop color.
no, 51 fish
Oh
died
yeah.
when we had the power failure. And
Oh,
even Rick said, because Rick was with us when we selected them, and there was quite a few that were Metallica Chiba type things, but they were like a golden yellow, and a lot of that has dropped off. A lot of reds have dropped off certain fish as well, and it's mental. It is mental, but it's the other thing is like he says, if you're at 26 to 30 degrees, you're aging that fish quicker than you would in a pond that's 18 to 16 degrees. You
correct.
see what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they age mainly by temperature,
Correct.
which is absolutely man.
That's not. But that makes sense because the metabolism goes up and down.
Yeah.
It goes the same with humans as well. Did you know? I mean, from what I know.
And yes, Rick's Deutsch showers are absolutely stunning. Mind you, his scaled showers are just as good, aren't they, Simon?
Indeed, they are.
I think I think you're upset with the fact that he's come out. No, he's not upset actually. It's just me taking the piss. But yeah, he's very surprised on how it came out. It's come out
Yeah,
better than he was hoping. That's for sure.
it's still developing now.
That's what I mean. And absolutely, and the sumi quality on it is it's just mental, isn't it?
Well, every single aspect on it is the sumi, the benny, the skin quality. Every aspect on it is.
Yeah, I've got one of Rick's kin showers in the growing on tank that people will see in the bowl properly finally next week because I'm having a shift round. built myself a fry grader.
Ah,
So very much like Rick's spaghetti strainer, but out of a Takazumi tub. And what I've done is I've used 10mm holes. And the reason I've used 10mm holes is because the bottom grid that I've got in the bottom of the growing on tank in long block has got 10mm holes. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cage up the IBC tank, and then I'll run everything through this, and then everything that can't get through the holes will then go into the growing on tank, where the temperature will then be turned back up to 26. So I've turned it down at the moment because I want to move fry across, and they're going to go over into the tow side tank until I know everyone's clean, happy and dandied, and there's a couple that will be going in the main pond and the rest will be sold. So yeah, there's going to be some bargains to be had in the next couple of weeks.
ooh.
There is some pretty fish in that growing on tank. And so that kin shower I've got in there, I'll do a little video for you like Simon later. The white on it is unreal, absolutely unreal. And considering what it looked like at that size, fucking night and day, absolute night and day. But say the only one that's causing me any stress at the moment is the Ginra and the Saggy. So yeah, anyway, I think I've waffled on enough. I think Sid's waffled on enough. I don't know what Shane's up to. Maybe he's gone for his bag, but either way,
Sorry,
I think we can knock today on the head, and thank everyone for joining along.
Hey,
As
before
always,
we leave, I forgot a little bit of news, Ben.
go on
The
then.
little Slumdog Millionaire from India is now an authorized dealer for Maru Hero and Matsuda koi farm, and the first authorized dealer for any koi farm in India.
Now that is fucking awesome.
Right?
That
Fucking
is
hell,
awesome.
I've been holding off so long to like say that news out loud. And with that,
And with that, on that note, a big thank you to everyone for joining along. We're calling it a day, Shane.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'd like to thank everyone for joining along. As always, guys, I've been Twisted Koi. The man to my right here is our Sid
Sid
from
here
Achievement
from
India.
India.
Then
I've
we've
been
got
Hearts
our
Koi.
Shane.
Yeah, mate,
Don't
guys.
forget our Simon. Cashy as well. As always, guys, we might not be same place, same time next week. We might be same place, same time from the National. Anyway, as always, we will catch you later.
Take care, everybody. Have
In
a
a
great
bit.
week.
Cheers.